Hey, how are wonderful you? How are you? I hope you're doing well because you're looking great. I'm Chris, and your skin beautiful. You've been drinking a lot of water, and I'm proud of you. So, I just thought I'd plant a little thought in your mind. Imagine you know how to cook the best cake ever. And then you and me, we get talking. We go, oh, well, that's really funny because I know how to make the best cake ever as well. And we start describing our cakes and we go, oh, it's actually the same type of basic cake. But your cake, you do it like this. And I do it a little bit differently. And so we get talking, we get into all the nitty gritty. Why do you do it like that? Why do you do it like that? Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's cool. That's cool. And you walk away and you go, oh, I'm going to make a cake tonight. I'm going to try out what they said. I'll give it a crack, huh? You go and you do it. And then you go, well, I can see why they do it like that. And I can see why they do it in that order and why they mix it like that. I can see where they've got this completely off the mark. They're doing it the hardest way possible over there. But I see why they do what they do. And I might just use some of those things, but most of it is not for me. That's fine. You walk away and you keep baking cakes the way you do, and they keep turning out perfect. You make perfect cakes, right? That's cool. Now, imagine having the same conversation with, I don't know, maybe like a patisserie chef who's been doing it for many decades, knows a lot of stuff about cakes, and you start talking. Guy thinks he knows it all because he probably does. And you start talking about cakes, and he starts telling you how you cook the perfect butter cake or whatever, the standard cake, I don't know what you call it, sponge cake. And then you go, oh, I kind of do the same sort of thing, but instead of that, I do it like this, and you start talking, that guy starts getting real mad, right? He's just like, no, that's not how you cook cakes. I've been cooking cakes for a long time. I know the most about cakes in the room right now, and you know how to make your cake, you know? You're like, fuck this shit. I'm out. Crack it at him, right? And the problem is that, you know, he doesn't give you a chance. And doesn't try to understand why you do what you do, doesn't try to help you. He thinks he's trying to help you by telling you that you're wrong, that you should be doing it like this and this and this. But he's not trying to help you, he's trying to prove you wrong. He's trying to make sure that you know that you're wrong and that he's right. If you wanted to help, you'd have a dialogue, you know, be like, oh, well, it's cool that you do it like that, but you gotta, you know, that you're gonna run into these issues, and that's gonna bite your baton. and you'll have a discussion. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense. Now, I've been studying a lot of things about philosophy and psychology, about how the body works in terms of fitness and health. I've been studying a lot of spirituality and trying to see where it relates to actual science, And after a few years of studying, I don't know, maybe like half a decade, not that long, really. I'm just starting to see how it all connects. I can see how Jesus was talking about the same thing that the psychologists were talking about, or similar enough that they're not talking about the same thing. They just have different interpretations or different perspectives or whatever. Wow, that beard I just noticed is crazy. That's better. So you have a think about that, and when people confront you about stuff that is different to your own, just like that pastry chef, you can walk away, just like your friend, your pastry chef, whatever. You can choose to, like the next day, you don't have to remember any of that stuff. You can just let it all go, and go back to what you were thinking before. You see? But you also have the choice to just listen to them. Like, given that you can just walk away from all of this, in my mind, I think, why not submit to all of it? Why not submit to their theories and their ideas? Especially if it's just a one-on-one conversation. I mean, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm gonna fully submit to them and go, yeah, cool. All right, if that's true, then tell me more, If that's true about that concept, tell me more. I don't need to prove anything to them. I don't have to push my agenda onto them, unless they're asking for help or something like that. If it's just a conversation, why not just let them be them and me be me, and just listen to what they have to say? It's a little bit selfish in a way to just let them speak, because you're doing it all for you. You're doing it for your advantage. You're doing it so that you can learn something brand spanking new from someone that that thinks so differently to you, that has a whole new concept on life than you do. So, and then after that, you'll learn things that other people haven't got the patience to, that their ego is too big to contemplate these different ideas. And the other fun thing is that in time, you won't, even if you choose to go back to what you believe, you'll never fully forget everything. There'll be traces of these things in your memories, in the back of your mind, that may come up at any moment, right? Knowing this is very powerful, because you could listen to one. I like religion. I like that as an example, because I believe that all religious teachings are very, very useful. It's just that they get a bit preachy. They get a bit like doom and gloom sometimes, and they start teaching things that I don't personally agree with. But I think there's also a lot of really useful things in the various religious texts, whether that's Christian or Buddhist or Hindi or whatever. I've just finished a study on Hindi texts. I can't remember how to say the name of the thing. It's like Bhagavad Gita or something. I'm sure someone knows what that's called. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up once I forget. But I've studied all these different things. A lot of that last one that I read, to be honest, the Hindi one, I'm going to have to reread that because I've forgotten most of it. But all through it, I was thinking, oh yeah, they're describing Freudian psychology there in a Hindi way, in like their own way. Oh, and they're describing Eckhart Tolle's theories on the mind and the body and the spiritual side and all that sort of thing, and so on and so forth, the various energies. You study about vibes. What's a vibe? Well, to me, I've studied enough of NLP and like neuro-linguistic programming and stuff. I understand that our unconscious mind is very powerful in that it can pick up on body language, like probably 6 or 7 seconds before we consciously even have the opportunity to read the body language or acknowledge the body language or anything like that. The unconscious mind, it will always scan around without you realizing, and see someone in the corner of your eye and then make a feeling about that person, which is your unconscious's way of communicating what its judgment, right? Because the unconscious communicates through feelings in the body as opposed to dialogue and words and fun stuff like that. So it does this in a split second without you even realizing. And it may cause you to consciously, maybe you do consciously feel it, and you go, oh, I feel really good. Is someone just walked in the door or something? And then you look over and it's your best friend, yay! Or maybe it's more subtle. Maybe someone walks in the door and then suddenly you need to go to the toilet. And then when you come out, you walk into the living room, which is away from the other person who's just entered the room. And to you, it's just coincidence that you never bumped into them in that night. But it could be coincidence, or it could just be your unconscious mind going, there's something I don't like, I don't want to deal with, we're going to go this way. We don't need to tell the conscious mind. This is what I'd call a vibe. Is the unconscious mind has this programming that decodes the world around it, has a good vibe, a bad vibe, whatever, And this is all just language. This is just words that people have made up. Vibe, ego, unconscious, conscious. Is a vibe the same thing as unconscious communication? Maybe. Is it something different? Is there really a higher power above us that is creating vibrations in our body as an energetic vibrations that we can feel if we tune our intuition? What is our intuition? What is it really? Is it a magical force? Is it the unconscious mind doing calculations and figuring out like what its gut feeling is, because the unconscious mind communicates through the body? Now, if you're too caught up in one belief system, whether that's science, whether that's religion, whether that's anything, um, whether that's vibrations in the earth and Gaia and all of this fun stuff. Whatever it is, if you're caught up in just one of them and you don't allow yourself to study and understand other concepts, then you're always going to limit yourself. And that's your doing. And you could do better. All you have to do is hold two concepts in your head at the same time. It takes a strong, powerful, intelligent mind to hold two concepts in at the same time. But like I said before, you only need it to come in once, and then it will get stored in your unconscious mind, and then your pattern recognition will correlate these things together. Oh, I've heard this somewhere. Jesus said that, or Buddha said that, or freaking Richard Feynman said that about particle physics, or freaking quantum physics or something. You know, Jesus talking about quantum physics, Buddha talking about quantum physics, Atman talking about quantum physics, or asking about quantum physics. Atman would ask about it, he wouldn't know about it, right? That's a Hindi joke. Anyway, the more you study different things, the more you're able to surrender to someone else temporarily until you understand them, so that you can understand them. That's why you're surrendering to their belief system. Like, what have you got to lose? Like, your ego is gonna well, that's fine. Like, your ego is more important than learning stuff. If that's your prerogative, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Lots of people are like that. That's probably the norm. So I've had some very difficult conversations with people in the past with who have very, very different beliefs than me. And my body was telling me to fight back, and my body was telling me to run away and all of that, because they were really getting on my nerves. But I stuck it out because I believe that learning from them is more important than giving into my id desires, as Freud would say, you know, to escape, to be safe, to defend myself and protect myself from this person's words. I think learning is very important, and giving yourself the space to hear other people's opinions and things like this, that's a choice. That's a choice that a person can make. It's not, how do I put it? It's a choice that you make. You have to be conscious of it. You have to consciously make this choice to understand people. And at the end of the day, this is what actual open-mindedness is. This is what open-mindedness is. It doesn't mean you disable your critical faculty and you can't make judgments about things and you just go with whatever you believe in, whatever you're told. No, you think critically, but maybe first let them speak. First try to see things from their perspective. Put your judgments to the side. Put your own beliefs to the side so that you can freaking learn something new. What a concept, right? Anyway, that's all. I hope this made sense to you, and I hope you have a fantastic day. How long have we been running for? I've got this thing where I've got the tape measure in front of the camera, holding that thing up so that it doesn't slide like that. Cool. Anyway, have a fantastic day. And I hope to see you at the next event or party or whatever, so I can feed you. Have a great day. Bye.